Hi everyone, welcome back and thanks for joining me, the Digital Golf Doc, as we wind down the last few days of our 30-day golf mobility challenge. Today we're going to focus on the hamstrings, and to do that I'm going to take a nice sideways turn and we're just going to reach for our toes to begin. Knees are going to stay straight, we're going to reach as far as we can and then come back up. Nice slow, easy movements to start. We are going to get a little bit more aggressive as we go, but we're going to ease into it. Now, as you reach for your toes, you should also feel your hips shift backward. That's what we call the hip hinge movement, and without it, we can't really utilize our hamstrings very well at all. That's why you shift your hips back for setup posture before you take a swing. Okay, now we're going to put a bend in one of our legs. So I'm going to start with the one close to the camera. We're going to kick the other leg out in front of us. We're going to do a similar movement and come back up, but now we're focusing all our energy on one side. So this works great if you're going to do it to both sides, or if because of an old injury or because of the way you sit at work, one hamstring gets tighter than the other, then we can give that side a little bit more love to help it loosen up. And we're going to do one more bend, and after that bend we're going to go ahead and switch our legs. Bend in the stance leg, straight heel kicked out in the other leg, and we're going to slide down that leg and back up for about 8 to 10 repetitions. Again, feeling like our hips slide back each time we move down to really engage those hip muscles. Again, keeping focus on our breathing, make sure it's staying relaxed and calm, because otherwise our muscles are going to tighten up and they're not going to let us go much of anywhere at all. Good, and last one. Perfect. Now, before we make our way down to the floor, we're going to do a few other things here. We're going to lift, kick, lower. If you need to, you can hold on to something so you've got some extra stability. You can have a golf club on the ground. But what we're doing here is coming up in a slack position for the hamstring, kicking it out to lengthen, and then come back down. And we're going to do that 5 times on each side, just so we're starting to get some active and dynamic mobility. You've heard me throughout these videos talk about that and how much more effective it is than static stretching. You can use some static stretching, but it should all come back to dynamic mobility next. Next, we're going to kind of go to that similar position where we reach down our leg, but instead we're going to reach as high as we can, lower down. Reach, lower. You should feel a stretch in your hamstring at the top of this movement each time. And again, you can hold on to something, whether it's a countertop, whether it's a golf club planted on the ground, to help with the stability piece. That way you can focus on getting as much mobility as possible. Good, and last one. Perfect. Now, next we're going to make our way down to the ground. On the ground, we're going to begin in a feet together position. And we're going to reach, slide down, try and get toward our toes, and come back up. We're going to do this 5 times. Again, we're working both of the hamstrings the same amount at this point. And after number 5, we're going to take one leg, bend it, set it out to the side, and focus on the other. And I really like this one because, as you'll see, we'll get a real good look into whether or not one side is looser than the other. So I know about where I'm touching on this leg, and then I know when I switch, I can see where I'm touching on the other leg. And for me, the right hamstring's a little bit tighter. Makes a lot of sense to me. I had an old injury, old hamstring back in high school, and you can even feel it time to time, so just reminding me it's there. Next, we're going to go legs wide into a V position, and we'll go down one side, come up, and down to the other. Left, and up, and right. We'll do 5 to each side, and we'll have one more finishing movement, and we'll call it a day. And of course, I'll see you all tomorrow. Just a few days left in the Golf Mobility Challenge. I'm betting you guys are already feeling much more mobile, and will really set you up for some success this golf season. Now, we're going to go out front, bend forward. That's 1, 2, 3, number 4, and then we go on 5th. I'm gonna hold it here, big breath. And we'll come back up. And that'll do it for today in our 30-day golf mobility challenge. I will catch you all tomorrow as we keep getting more flexible so we can keep playing great golf and staying uninjured.